Happy September the 1st. That's today. That means new car day. Every month, a new car for me. A new car that I can get excited about and leave an old one in the yard. The old one, of course, is this Harry Seacombe, the Rover 620. I have to say I've really enjoyed driving this car this month for a variety of reasons. Besides the seatbelt in the rear getting stuck and I've taken it off and it won't refix itself, it's just been such a lovely joy to drive. It's not particularly good on fuel, but it's not horrendous on fuel. And it's a really engaging drive and it sounds fantastic. Yesterday I had to nip out in the evening in it and I really enjoyed that sense of retro aggression. And the past couple of days I've been looking at it and thinking, yeah, it really does look quite old now, doesn't it? I always felt that the 600 was a lot more modern feeling than a few of its competitors, although it has a lot of the classic old man car look about it. And that's why they're never that popular. Just recently, it's starting to look even more retro than ever. But we're not talking about this car today, we're talking about something else. So thank you for your service, Harry. Maybe I will use you next month. You've seen this car before, but you're about to see it again. Jason, the Rover 45. Now, wrong key fob, I think. I've just taxed this car today, and do you know what? It's cheap, £18.37, which is a lot better than the £30 odd that Harry Seacombe wants. Not that I'm making a comparison. Oh, but I am, aren't I? Because there are many things that make this car more suited to me than this one. But being cheaper to tax and costing probably half as much to use does appeal, obviously. And what else really appeals to me is this car's fantastic condition, because, well, I do quite like a rough car, but my car wouldn't get dents on it or scratches or scuffs. When somebody else has taken the care to make sure that the car that you now own is covered in scuffs and scratches, it's liberating. It really is, because you don't worry about it as much. Although I do still park as far away from other people as I can, and I still look after it. And in fact, Harry here, from this kind of distance, does look fantastic. And it's the right colour. Obviously that door's a bit dull. As we get a bit closer, we can see there are dents on the wing. But yet again, we're not talking about this car. No, this car's not even going to feature in this video. Today's video is going to be the first full day's use of this car, and I am going to take it out and enjoy it and do at least 30 miles in it. I washed it, I waxed it. I even put the Nigel bits on there so you can tell what this car's all about. There's still a couple of bits to buff off though. And now, something else about this car. Its name, Jason. Now, it's called Jason. There's a bit of a Mickey take of a man called Jason who's better known as Boaty. Now, I'm all up for that. I totally approve of taking the mick when it comes to Boaty. So, I don't feel the urge to change the name. But I do have the urge to change the name because I just don't think it suits it. And so, for the first time ever, I'm going to put it out to my audience here to think of a new name for this car. Right, bit of stuff cleaned off the wheels, a box placed in the boot for shopping, and then the tennis rackets and a spare jumper for emergencies. Time to adjust the phone holder. Okay, got that. Welcome back to the turbo diesel lunge as you lift your clutch off the accelerator. Well. Back in a 45 diesel. How great does it feel? I suppose compared to the 600, it actually feels a bit heavy and a bit lumbersome, because although the diesel engine is a great, excellent diesel engine, and it is so economical and so tunable, it just doesn't have any instant response. Then again, remember, this has the Chasley ECU, which means that once it's a bit warmed up, I can give it a bit of a pasting. Give it a pasting. 1 mile completed, and it feels smooth and, you know, alright actually. Every car comes with a job or two, and that includes this one as well, because look at this seat. It's very wobbly, and I noticed there's a bolt missing. Not one that holds it to the floor, but a bolt that holds the slider runny thing to the actual seat. I'm not going to fix that right now, but I can fix it quite easily. One of my favourite gentlemen of the Littleborough area. What a dapper chap. Now, as I've got almost 2 miles up the road, I can see it's been raining here, so that takes away the urge to see whether that turbo really does give the car a good kick. Some cars I get into and I'm instantly overjoyed by the way it makes me feel. The 45 diesel never really does that, because of the weight of the engine does take away some of the really exciting handling characteristics that they have. They're a bit nose heavy, you see. You know, give it some time and some use, and I come back to the full appreciation of the fuel economy and the lurch when you put your foot down slightly. Then you know, maybe I'll think very, very differently. But at the moment, it's not making me feel very excited at all. Hopefully that will change soon. That's about 30 miles covered so far. Presently known as Jason, that could end up being called something else, up Blackstone Edge, having a go doing the 5th gear challenge. And I must say, I got up okay in 5th gear, but it wasn't tear-arsing up there like Eric did when I had Eric. Obviously the 45 is a bit bigger, so it's going to be a bit heavier, but it didn't go quite as well as I was expecting. No, in fact, cheesecake. I was quite surprised by how well it didn't pick up, in fact. Anyway, didn't stop there, carried on down Cragvale into Mythenroyd, and rather than turning left at Mythenroyd down through Hebden Bridge, went up the other way to Halifax, the tallest folly in Europe. Quite a phallic symbol, isn't it? I was really struggling to find somewhere where I could park right in front of it, but you know, it doesn't look like it's accessible by road. Never mind. Hey Jason, hey Jason, do you suit that name? I don't know. I don't think you do really, do you not? Maybe if I change its name, I'll like it a lot more. Look, another train. Anyway, the journey wasn't over, because come back, very much enjoying the drive through Mythenroyd again, and then Hebden Bridge, where we didn't really stop, which normally we would do, but instead finding ourselves underneath this big bridge at Aldi in Todmorden for a little walkabout, except that I'm still stood here next to the car. So far then, I'm not quite warm into this car as much as I was expecting to do. It doesn't feel anywhere near as quick as I thought it would. It's maybe it just needs a bit of running in, because it's just not responsive in the way I was expecting. It's almost like that Chasley ECU isn't actually there. So it does pick up, but you've got to put quite a bit of effort in. Whereas I remember before, on my old L series, it was really quite, it just hoof itself up a hill without you really trying. Shots of the back of this Mazda, because maybe it's just me, but I can see a reliant scimitar. Now, in a video where it's just about me trying out my new car, can there really be a conclusion? Not really, because it's not going to stop here, is it? It's not like just reviewing a car and that's it, I give it back to its owner. So whatever it is I'm thinking just at the moment could easily change anyway. I might find that soon it starts to work better with my individual style of driving, which is very careful, very smooth, but also not hanging about. I might find that we get a couple of days of really lovely dry weather where I can actually enjoy the thing without loads of torque steer and wheel spin. I might find that the wonderful fuel economy takes away any of the issues that I might have with this car not being quite as responsive as I wanted. I think the main problem that I do have just at the moment is that actually I can't get along with these seats. Compared to the pre-project drive seats that had lumbar support and were really comfortable, these are just a bit slabby. So I find myself arching my back quite a bit. Now that did actually feel like it took off quite well there. It's always that low down grunt whilst you're already picking up speed, where these diesel engines seem to work very well. I'll do that again now. The only thing is I'll be going up a slope, so I'm more likely just to get wheel spin. Oh. Quite punchy actually. It's just not quite as really fisty as Eric was. If anybody remembers one of my old cars, Eric the 25 diesel, when I put the Chasley ECU on that, oh gosh, it made a huge difference. It made it a proper flying machine, and it changed the sound of the induction an awful lot as well, whereas this one just sounds kind of ordinary diesel. Listen. Yeah, doesn't sound any different at all. Anyway, back to the name change idea. I don't have to change the name, of course, do I? I could just leave it as it is, but I really don't think it suits Jason. This car doesn't suit the name Jason, and my friend Boaty doesn't even suit the name Jason. Anyway, here's something to consider, and that is that I have come out at night time, having spent hours editing a video to go for a drive in this. You know, just a short drive, but nevertheless, I've come out to drive the car, and I've always got back home and turning back round so I can do a bit more. Because after the long evening of editing that I've had, I'm actually finding it quite relaxing just to drive the car for a bit. So maybe, just maybe, that's a sign that I really do like this car. Although, of course, any car that's new, even if you've had one just like it before, does tend to make you want to go out and play in it for a bit. So with that, I'm going to say thank you for watching, and thank you for subscribing, and thank you for liking the video, and thank you for being a channel member, and thank you for all of the other wonderful things like commenting, etc., that the people that I should be thanking, I shall thank for. And I need to say all this because for me, there's a huge difference between the people who do nice things and the people who try to do not so nice things. So the ones that try to do something nice, I appreciate you. And the ones that try to do something not nice, I don't appreciate you. And I'm not going to say thank you for something I don't want you to do. Am I? No, I'm not. So bye-bye. I'll just get to this bit and then turn around and go home.